Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight, well, you guys can already see it. It's time to spin that wheel. Let's see what I end up playing tonight, folks, because I have no idea what I want to play tonight. And this is the perfect way for me to figure it out. Oh, it's the chonky! It's the chonk! The thick one herself! California IA. Let's go. Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. Oh. Let's go! That's gonna be an easy video. So, with that being said, y'all know the deal. The way we do these spin the wheels, I know, rhymes, right? The way we do these is that I get whatever ship the wheel gives me, I jump in, and the very first match, no matter what it is, could be the worst match I've ever played, but that's the one you're going to see. So without further ado, let's get straight into the flyby and then the gameplay. Alrighty, so we are in the California and we are on northern waters, sorry. And we are not top tier. In fact, there are two ships in this game that overmatch us, and that is the North Carolina and the Nelson. There's also a Belfast in the lobby and an Akatsuki, so there are several tier 6 ships that we're going to have to contend with if we are going to come out victorious. Now, does this mean I give up? Does this mean that I just quit the game and go back to find something else to play? Does this mean because I'm bottom tier that I just can't compete? No, of course not. It doesn't, of course not. It means that you just gotta try a little bit harder, folks. I know it's a crazy concept, but you just gotta pay more attention to what's around you so that you don't put yourself in a position where you get yeeted. It also helps when people are just absolutely goofy. And by goofy, I mean just not very good at the game. So, let's showcase a little bit of all of these things. So, right off the bat, despite being bottom tier, despite being in a super slow battleship, do I run away from my side? No. I go ahead, I get a shot out on the Makarov before he goes dark. We knew he was going to drop spots, so we had to try to get the shot around the island as quickly as possible, and bonk. Only hit 2 shells. One of them was a Citadel. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that Makarov did not sacrifice his baby carrot today. I did. So, you're going to see some of the best RNG you're going to get out of this thing, just straight up, especially on the Makarov. That Makarov, I don't know what he did wrong today. Like I said, he clearly didn't sacrifice his baby carrot, but we're 2 shots in it. We're already at 24,000 damage. And a Cali. Don't forget, we are running the Azure Lane, Colorado reload build on Cali, so you'll see some ridiculously fast reloads during this match. And that is the reason. So, just as a heads up for those of you wondering. Now, I know I'm spotted. There's a destroyer in the cap. You can see I'm here to help my teammate. I'm saying, destroyer, give me some intel. I will help you, my guy. I've driven the cruiser away. I've driven the battleship away. Now is the perfect time to spot and remove the destroyer. But in true destroyer fashion, my destroyer's like, no, now is the time to hide behind an island and capture the base, which at least he's capturing the base. I'll give him credit where credit is due. He's at least doing something. So, fair play to him. Now, that being said, I'm in super fat, slow battleship, right? I mean, not fat, thick. She thick, all right? She got wide hips. We get it. But I don't want to test her torpedo protection out with an Akatsuki. How do I know it's an Akatsuki? Well, it's pretty simple. I watched him. He launched 3 triple launch torpedo strikes in the direction of that destroyer cruiser. So I know it's the Akatsuki. Pretty simple deduction, right? Why is it that more people don't realize these things? But these are the little things that separate those of us who play the game more and are more experienced from the rest of us. Shot at the Makarov. Again, saw him turning, we aimed for it, and we hit him with 2 shells, and one of them was a Citadel again. I'm telling you, the dude did not sacrifice his baby carrot. It's plain to see for everybody. Don't forget, kids, always sacrifice your baby carrots. Now, as if the man hasn't been hit with 4 shells and gotten Citadel'd twice, I take another shot with just 2 guns, because I figure, well, if the RNG's been as good as it has been on him so far, 2 guns should suffice to finish him off. And I hit him with 1 shell and get a Citadel again. That man got Citadel 3 times on back-to-back-to-back salvos at ranges that are hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. From a Cali, no less. Now, Arizona here is actually gonna try to do a pretty good job of staying relatively angled to me for the meantime. But unfortunately for this Arizona, he is not paying enough attention to the rest of my team. Mostly, he's not paying enough attention to the destroyer. So, we have a wall of skill heading in his direction. Now, obviously, there's a destroyer spotted, so what do, folks? Oh, look, it's the Akatsuki, too. Who could have seen that coming? Now here, he starts smoking up, which usually means he's going to slow down. So we go ahead and aim for the slowdown, and terrible dispersion, and unfortunately, we don't hit him. But, you take the shot when you see the destroyer, okay? Because if you don't, you have nothing to complain about when that destroyer inevitably neuters you later on in the match. Okay? If you see a destroyer, try to shoot the destroyer. Get better at aiming at them. Sometimes RNG gonna happen. But, at least if you try, you don't feel as bad later in the game when you inevitably get nuked by him. Right? Foreshadowing? Maybe. Don't yell at me. Okay? So, Arizona, again, we get some shots into the superstructure. He's doing a really good job of staying angled. I gotta give props where props is due. Arizona over here doing a pretty good job of paying attention to who's around him for the most part. He's dodged torpedoes where he can. He's getting burned down by our cruiser. And he's staying angled to me, so he's avoiding the big damage, but it's only a matter of time. You got a French cruiser or French destroyer out there just doing circles, and he eventually is gonna land a torpedo. And so we take a shot up high on the Arizona, trying to finish him off, and we do, in fact, finish him off, getting probably our best salvo so far. Now, at this point, I'm like, okay, we're in the perfect place. Look at this Nelson. This Nelson player, God bless his soul, but this guy has the spatial awareness, or the situational awareness, of an ant, okay? They only know what's going on in their specific like theater of where they're looking, right? They have no idea what's going on in the world at large. It's just that they are looking down the barrel of their gun, and he loses half his hit points because of it. You just sitting stationary. You let a California sneak up on you. Hello? Let that run through your brain for a little bit, folks. California snuck up on this man at 10 kilometers. And finally, he's like, oh my God, I just lost half my hit points. Let me heal half of that back and then start firing high explosive at the Cali because I don't clearly overmatch with my 16-inch guns. Why would I use overmatch ability when I have HE? Yes, the Nelson has great HE, but if you have the option to overmatch, which the Nelson does in most situations, unless, of course, it's going against Tier 7 battleship, but in most situations, the Nelson does have the overmatch, and shooting AP is absolutely going to be your better bet. So, as you can see, we're actually shattering and absorbing a lot of his shells, and then he does the unthinkable. He has to get the third gun involved. So he turns wide open, and we put the shot straight through the bow side plating and Citadel him again. He's lucky he didn't just get popped right there. That should have been a kill. But no, he gets away for now. I say for now, because let's be honest, he ain't got much health left. He's already used his heal, so he's not going to get that back anytime soon. And all we got to do is put a shell right into a superstructure, or a couple of shells into a superstructure to finish him off. His superstructure is open for business because he hasn't taken any damage to the superstructure, and down he goes. So, have we learned anything, folks? Not only that, but look at our positioning on the map. We're in a position to attack the entire rest of the enemy team. In a Cali, one of the slowest ships in the game. What a concept! We have covered so much ground, we have been able to put ourselves in position to stay relevant, never having to worry about not being able to fire our guns. What a crazy idea. And because of it, look at the broadsides, these crossfires, you love to see it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but the Akatsuki actually won the fight with the French destroyer somehow. That's you can't have that French destroyer. You got to win that fight, man. Don't eat the torpedo. But North Carolina, again, focuses me. Again, he has the ability to overmatch, so well done. He actually is firing AP as he should be. Thank God. But he's taking a beating from whoever's in front of him. And we are just nickeling and diming him for the broadside all day long. And we're getting terrible dispersion, by the way, on his broadside. He's getting very, very lucky that we are getting terrible dispersion. But we're going to go ahead and use another heal here, which is going to help us out tremendously. And then we take the front guns at the North Carolina's broadside, and this time we get a much better result, punching him for 3 full pins and 1 overpin, and then the Tennessee puts himself in a position to potentially get countered. Now here, I thought I did a pretty good job of mitigating damage as best as possible. I fired the rear turrets at the North Carolina, fully expecting the man to be dead, so I go ahead and start getting ready to target the Tennessee. Unfortunately, I don't manage to kill the North Carolina, whether he's got will to rebuild going or something, or managed to get a heal at the right time. But we go ahead, we end up taking another shot. He gets actually going forward really quickly here, which surprised me. So he's definitely a propulsion mod kind of guy on his battleship. So he got going forward just fast enough to avoid the damage that would have definitely killed him. And there's the overmatch that we were talking about. However, he's still broadside. The man has not learned. He's like, yeah, I've survived up to this point. Well, you don't survive any longer. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Now here, we're going to try to use the island for a little bit of protection here. Trying to get the rear guns on target, but unfortunately not able to do it. Tennessee gets a very good salvo here and absolutely pounds us. But I know that the enemy Belfast is off to my right, so I'm not real worried about the Tennessee's damage because I smell cruiser. Hello, cruiser. How are you doing? Would you like to be the 3rd tier 6 ship that I've killed in this game? Well, let's see what you got, sunshine. First shot, he turns in a little bit. We expected that, so we aimed a little short, and we get a good result. But again, it's a Belfast, so overpins are definitely going to be a thing. I don't know why the Belfast gets away with some of the stuff it gets away with in this game, but the Belfast just does. Now here, he's clearly turning out, so we aim a little bit high, trying to catch him again as he turns out. And then we fire the other turrets as well, and he gets really fortunate again, just to get away with overpins, man. And Giga Chad, in whoever's this Belfast is, he's a Giga Chad. He knows to use armor piercing occasionally, and so I have to actually angle. Now, you can argue whether or not the HE would have been the better choice here, but look at this shot here. Now, he goes dark. We saw where he was. We're going to go ahead and take the shot with the front guns a little bit lower than expected, and the one shell that citadels him is the one that lands high. I don't know how that works. I really don't. Like, some things in this game are mind-boggling. But if you look at where that shell landed, and you can see I'm already, like, aiming at him. And I think he realizes this. Like, he's still shooting AP, and it's effective, okay? It's not like he's shattering. He's pinning me with the AP. So it just goes to show you, a heavy cruiser getting a broadside of a battleship, or at least the superstructure, can absolutely do some nasty damage. It doesn't always have to be HE, folks. I know everybody loves their HE, but it doesn't always have to be HE. You can absolutely shred people with AP. And the best part about AP is they don't get to heal it back. Fire damage gets healed back. Keep that in mind. Of course, we don't have any heals left, but he doesn't need to know that, right? We're waiting, hoping that this man shows himself. And he does actually come out of a smoke screen, or the destroyer gets in range to spot me. One or the other, but unfortunately, he is going to deny my Kraken, which is unfortunate. But in other news, we finished with 169 thousand damage. So that's a win in my book, folks. And like I said in the precursor, this is an easy video. One and done, baby. 169,000 Dreadnought, high caliber, top of the leaderboard, 2,800 base XP, 4-kill game as a bottom tier battleship. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you excited to see more wheel spins in the future? If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.